Time for more money with Matt Moore and Jay Money. A lot to get into here. Firstly, the Knicks and Sixers. This series has essentially been a coin flip. But Jay, what's your reaction to where things stand after five?
Yeah, huge late game heroics by Tyrese Maxey, man. It was absolutely crazy. I mean, my guy almost pulled up from half court there, man. So I love the fact that both of these teams have stole a game that it looks like they had no business winning. Tyrese Maxey may have just ripped the heart out of New York Knicks fans in that one, man. So if they're able to push it to a game seven, you never know what could happen. And I'm kind of with Embiid there. I feel like that they've kind of played better this series, and they still feel like they have a chance to win this series. They've had a double-digit lead in every game as well. So this has been a great series, possibly the best series of the first round of playoffs. I really hope that we get a game seven. Can't wait to watch game six as well. But hell of a job from Tyrese Maxey there.
Yeah, I mean, look, the series has been amazing. It's got a chance to be either second or third of the best first round series ever. I think I would put 2015 Clippers Spurs on that list. I would put the 2009 Celtics Bulls, which is a classic, on that list, but this has got to get the seven for it to get there. It's definitely up there with the heroics and the craziness of game two and the injury and the drama. It's amazing stuff. What's cool for bettors, I think, is this is definitely a great opportunity to bet your opinion, because you've got the Knicks in game six with a chance to close it out at plus 132. So you get plus money on that side. If you're on the Sixers and you're like, I think the Sixers can pull this off, you got Sixers series price at plus 290. So you've got some kind of opportunities here to really kind of weigh in and bet your opinion. I will note that teams that were up 3-1 and lost game five at home are 8-2 straight up and ATS in game six. So they've done very well in this spot, coming back after dropping that chance to eliminate the opponent, even though they have to go on the road. What's interesting, though, this is only a third time since 2003 that the road team in that spot, when they're up 3-1 and now 3-2, has been a dog since 2003. So this series has really no precedence, which makes sense given how crazy it's been so far.
Yeah, totally agree. I haven't wrapped my head around yet how to play that game. I know you laid out a couple of options, but definitely looking forward to more drama between Philly and New York. But in the other potential closeout spot last night, we had the Bucks become the first team ever to win a playoff game without their top two scorers from the regular season. But according to Doc Rivers, the Bucks may not miss Giannis and Dame for long. This was the post-game presser.
How does winning this game and getting a couple extra days for game six just affect the injury timelines, Giannis and Dame? Is there a chance that is extending this series that you guys, hope to get them on the floor?
I don't know how to answer that. I hope. I think they're very, very, very close.
So I'm not sure how much of this is a scare tactic, like alluding to potentially a return from the two stars. But Jay, can Milwaukee make a comeback here? By the way, they're at like plus 575 to win the series right now.
Well, first off, I do think it's possible, but if I'm Doc Rivers, like, I don't want to tell anybody they might come back. I'm like, oh no, they're banged up. They had been practicing. Like, I don't want to give the other team any edge whatsoever. But we all know that it's almost around that time that Giannis should be coming back. Dame will probably still be out. He was taking some jump shots, but Doc Rivers mainly, he's been taking a lot of heat this since he's taken over for the Bucks job and for the playoffs as well. He really has a chance to silence all the critics, in my opinion, as well. We know that the Bucks are the much more experienced team as well, and it just kind of shows something. The Pacers, like, they kind of showed their killer instinct there in that game yesterday. If they really wanted to, they could have ended the series right there. It may have been their best chance as well. Sometimes you don't really want to mess around and play with your food. It's a one-game series every game now, and we've seen, even without Bobby Portis and Chris Middleton leaving the game, we've seen the Bucks like get it all the way down to 6 points versus the Pacers at the house as well. So all they have to do is steal game six on the road, and they will be favored in that game seven at the house. So watch out if Giannis come back. But that's just kind of crazy. If I'm Doc Rivers, I don't want to give the team any other advantage. I want them to prepare like there's like nobody's coming back for the rest of the season. I want them to continue to have that letdown and think that things are going to be easy. But I do think the Bucks have an outside chance, but obviously they have to win game six.
Man, come on. This is a J Money smash spot. Come on now. They're done. All right. Pacers are going to roll in game six. Look, teams are 26-9 straight up. 26-9. 2014-1 ATS after being up 3-1 and losing game five on the road. This is the inverse of Sixers and Knicks, right? look, I'm not surprised. The Bucks are in a desperation spot at home. You always talk about that desperation spot at home. You don't want your season to end in front of your home fans. Pacers are a young team trying to close out a veteran squad on the road. Zero surprise that they struggled in Game 5, but they're going to get it right. Rick Carlisle's going to get the adjustments in. Home crowd behind him. We gave this out on Nothing But Bet, talking about how the teams after they shoot 50% are terrible in the next game when they shoot 50% from three in the previous game. Pacers will get their shots back up when they're at home. Role players going to hit shots. Pacers don't have enough, or the Bucks don't have enough offense. They cannot risk Dame and Giannis in this game. Like, you are putting too much of a risk of them suffering an Achilles tear and losing them for the entire year. There's too much on that. So Pacers going to roll in this game. I love Pacers.
I tend to agree with you, Matt, but like, you're always so darn confident about it and you say it with like such decisiveness, and I'm like, stop, you're gonna jinx it, but it's fine. That being said, we got to turn our attention to tonight. A couple games on tap, including what could be Miami's last game of the season. But more than that, Matt, could this be their last game with Jimmy Butler on the roster?
I think so. Look, they've run this era, this time period, and if you listen to Miami media, they talk about it too, about how, look, this is 4 years, 2020, 21, 22, 23, and it's been a great run with Jimmy. It's been an awesome run with Jimmy Butler there. They made 3 conference finals. They made 2 finals. They were the 1 seed in 2022. It was awesome, but Jimmy Butler's going to be 35. He missed a lot of time this season and never looked like himself. He did not ramp up. He didn't have that stretch where it's like, oh, playoff Jimmy is here. And he missed the postseason. They've got a younger roster now with Nikola Jovic and Jaime Jaquez. They've gotten more from Bam Adebayo. They got to figure out better ways to build around Bam. And you simply just can't have Jimmy be in the focal point of your entire team when he's not going to be available for most of the year, and you don't know if he's going to be around in the playoffs. Butler's due an extension this summer. There's a lot of questions in league circles from people I've talked about whether or not Miami's going to be willing to give him the money he's going to look for in that extension. And if that doesn't happen, I think there's a very good chance that Jimmy Butler is not with the Miami Heat next season.
Jay, what's your take on this?
I think that they would enter full rebuild mode if they got rid of Jimmy Butler. I think they're kind of like one piece away. I mean, the Heat are a deep squad. We already see these guys, man, find players out of nowhere and then just turn these guys into like max players, man. So I feel like they're one piece away from possibly like still making noise. Like, they're still one of the best teams in the East. They're just really banged up right now. Like, as a Celtics backer, I was one of the guys. I was kind of scared of them facing up against the Heat. So I'm kind of glad that Butler and Rozier are out. But I mean, this is not a bad team. They have one of the best coaches in the league. If these guys can stay healthy, they're one piece away, especially if they can get some more three-point shooters as well. We got to remember, this team is missing guys like Josh Richardson. Duncan Robinson went down as well. So they've been dealing with injuries all year. This is still a top 3, top 4 team in the East. I wouldn't get rid of Jimmy Butler. I feel like they could possibly be rebuilding if they get rid of him.
They are literally not a top 3 or 4 team in the Eastern Conference. They are literally a play-in team.
I think he means if Jimmy's healthy and at full strength.
He's not going to be healthy. He's 35. He's got too many miles. He played for teams. Plus,
they were a play-in team.
Hang on. Plus,
they're a play-in team and went to the finals. It doesn't matter.
Congrats on shooting 45% in 2 series. Good job. How's that working out now? The other thing I'll tell you is, like, they're one piece away. That one piece is Dwayne Wade, and he's not walking through that door.
Okay. All right. I love a spirited debate. I'm obviously, in my feelings over a potential Miami team without Jimmy Butler on it in the near future. And Jay, I feel like they're never really in rebuild mode, right? Because like you said, they always seem to find like diamonds in the rough that end up making their team better. But real quick on the game tonight, Jay, you do have a lean that you want to talk about.
Yeah, I lean towards Sam Howard over his 6.5 points. We know that paper plate Porzingis is out for the Celtics in this one, so that means a little bit more minutes, a little bit more usage for Sam Hauser. My guy's a sniper from 3 out there, and you also have a potential for a blowout in this one as well, where he could get possibly even play the whole fourth quarter. So I think 6.5 points is a little too low for Sam Hauser. I'd lean towards over his points tonight for the Hauser for the Boston Celtics.
And let's end with this, the other game tonight, pivotal game 5 for the Mavericks and Clippers, who are tied at 2-2, no Kawhi Leonard. And Matt, the line has moved, so the Mavs are now favored. Who do you like?
Look, tactical stuff wise, basketball side, I lean Clippers here. I've talked a lot about how I like the pick and roll stuff that the Clippers have gotten to, and they've done a very good job of that. They've adjusted pretty well and then have gotten Jason Kidd one out of his initial rotation and then countered his small ball lineups with Maxi Kleba in the last game. But there's a trend here I just can't get away from. Teams are 1-12 as a home dog after shooting 50% or better from three in the previous game. We used this in the Pacers game yesterday, and I'm going to go back to it here and take Mavericks -3. It's not necessarily a matter of like, do I think the Mavericks are just a better team? I really don't. I think the Clippers are actually a better team, but Luka Doncic is simply not going to shoot as badly as he has in this series. They've had an extra day of rest here, get him an opportunity to get going. Kyrie Irving's having a fantastic series. They'll get some better shooting even on the road. I don't trust the Clippers to shoot that well from three again. I think this is probably a spot where the Mavericks are able to retake home court advantage in this series. So I'll take Mavericks -3 tonight as the best bet.
And just a real quick follow-up to that. If you think the Mavericks are going to win tonight, you think they're going to win the series?
No.
Okay. All right. Just clarifying.
Didn't say that. I would definitely I would be interested in, I'm going to look at that, see if I can get a Mavericks -3 tonight and Clippers to win the series. Cause I think like chances of the Clippers taking game 7 at home.
I think in a pivotal game 5, you want to take who you think is going to win this series. So if the Mavs want to win this series, this is an absolute must-win game, and they're going to have to close it out in 6. It'll be really tough. I mean, they've shown that they can go on the road and win a game 7, but if they this is the series here. You have to win this game and then close it out at the house. You don't want to be messing around in LA for a game 7.
And that's why I asked. All right, J Money, Matt Moore, thanks so much, guys.
Thank you.
Anytime.